Today I'm going to show you guys how to crush unwanted gas in oxygen not included. So to crush unwanted gas means you are literally going to take the carbon dioxide that's in your base, you're going to crush it so that you pretty much get rid of it, and then the oxygen can start flowing better, because apart from the fact that we probably should have a couple more airflow tiles in here, we got a lot of carbon dioxide from the dupes breathing pretty much, and we want to crush that. Now, be warned that this method crushes all gases, so keep an eye on how much carbon dioxide is in the area, or you're going to start crushing your oxygen. And what you need to do is you need to have 2 blocks deep. We're actually going to, before these guys get stuck, we're just going to do one at a time. And if you were trying to keep your gases from coming in, or the gases from coming in from outside your base, by the way, try and have a 3 deep insulated tile ready for this. You probably could build this before doing the base, or before putting the borders of your base. But since I already have the borders, I needed to do 3 deep. What you want to do then is you want to put a mechanized airlock sideways into the bottom part of the gap. We're going to be building 3 or 4 of these across. And actually, I think I might have measured this incorrectly, so we'll just put 3 in for now. It's going to be a bit odd shaped, but it's fine. So we're going to put a mechanized door in here. And we're actually going to do deconstruction on that and that, and then put another block in here, because these doors are going to be side by side. And of course, they aren't building the doors, they're building the tiles around it. Actually, maybe we'll keep it at 2 for now, and then we can add a 3rd one in just for experimentation purposes. Airflow tiles. They need to be on the left. So make sure that you put the airflow tile on the left if you're trying to delete gas. If you're trying to add gas to your base, you put it on the right. And you're going to put a normal tile on the right hand side on the deleting gas version. We're going to open these doors real quick to get rid of this debris. This debris doesn't actually have any effect on the method. It just will add to lag. So we want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. Just get all this crap out of here before we continue. We actually can build the next part of it while we're waiting. And that is, we're going to build a timer. So you're going to need a timer sensor and a mechanized airlock. Now, the thing about these two is they're pretty easy to get. So you shouldn't have to grind for them. You don't need radioactive material or anything. You don't need rad bolts or anything to get these. So you can get this stuff pretty early on. And okay, we're going to go back to having these on auto. And we're just going to wait for the timers to be made. We're also going to put some automation wire on. And we're going to fill these in with 1 tile here and here. Now, we're going to put some tiles here as well, just until we get to the experimental part of this. So give me 1 moment. Actually, we're going to cancel this real quick because I want them to have room to build all the automation. Okay, that's fine. The dupes are actually being very good today. This one is working at least. Not sure about this one. Hopefully this one gets made. But what we're going to do is we're going to change this to 5 and 5. Now, depending on the atmosphere, 5 and 5 might not be the right numbers. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 7. You're going to have to judge that for yourself. But let me show you what's actually happening here. And that way you can judge it for yourself. Whenever these doors are opening, gas is starting to pour in. And the gas that goes in is carbon dioxide in this case, because I'm trying to get rid of carbon dioxide. And roughly about 1,000 grams of carbon dioxide goes in total, 5,000 per block. Actually, we could do that more visually if I go here. The carbon dioxide goes in and the door closes, and because the door is closing on the carbon dioxide and there's nowhere else for the carbon dioxide to go, it actually deletes it. So you're not going to have that carbon dioxide anymore in your world. And I'm going to leave these running. They're powerless, of course. I'm going to leave these running until I see that the carbon dioxide has calmed down a little bit in here and that the oxygen has started to move down, because I don't want any of this oxygen to be deleted. As you can see, the oxygen is already starting to creep in, so it's slowly starting to work. And the more carbon dioxide in an area, the quicker this will work. And I usually, like, you could have a whole row of these lined up next to each other. We're going to do a quick experiment, and that is, does having 3 next to each other affect this at all? In my experience, or from what I can tell, it won't. But let's try it. I've never actually done this before. This is going to stop these from working temporarily, I would say. Actually, with a hole in the middle. Let's have a quick look. Does it still work with a hole in the middle? No, because the carbon dioxide's coming in here instead. Huh. Yeah, it looks like it's still working even when there's a hole in the middle. Who would have thought, huh? So we're going to get that swept up, and then we're going to put another door in here just to see what happens when you have 3 next to each other. So we're going to make another timer sensor here. Don't forget, this is completely powerless, so you don't have to do anything with power in order to do this, if you would call it a trick. And we can already see that we have so much carbon dioxide here to get rid of, and all of this carbon dioxide is going to come down. So having 3 of these is probably worth it, to be honest. So I'm just going to wait for this timer to go, and then we're going to put another block in here. And we're actually going to set this to 3 seconds. Just to see, will 3 seconds be enough to get that filled up with carbon dioxide? And how much will it fill up with? It doesn't fill up. Do you see that? Carbon dioxide just needs a couple of more seconds to get in here. Oh no, it's starting to fill up now. But it's still not as much. This one is getting about 500. Is this one also getting 500 in 3 seconds? I think it's actually because these two are robbing a lot of the carbon dioxide, that this one is sometimes getting CO2 in here, and sometimes it's not. So if I set it to 5 seconds, best thing about Oxygen Not Included is you could just really like experiment with this stuff and have fun with it. Yeah, look at the CO2's getting in there a lot quicker now. Does it still go? Yeah, it's going in again. Having them slightly staggered is helping a little bit too. So yeah, that's going to get rid of all of that CO2 for me. And I'm just trying to think, like, I can leave these running while I go away, but I really have to pay attention to it to make sure that it doesn't start eating my oxygen, because that's the last thing that I wanted to do. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one. Let me know if you have any questions. And this is how you delete gas, unwanted gases in Oxygen Not Included. Ta-ta!